shrimps? Aw, are you a good mom, Shrimpy? You were a little confused that first day. I skipped them when I was tagging because I didn't know if they were gonna make it. You're so pretty. Oh my goodness. Ah. Can you stop being a babe? Dahlia, hey, get out of there. Good morning. It's a nice, bright, sunny day today. Briar and her brute of a doeling are doing good this morning. We got kind of a brute there. Because she did have a dead kid, and I had a few weak ones. I did have a dead one in the beginning of this kidding, and a couple of real small ones. I am gonna pull her placenta out and send in a sample of that with one from January. We just want to make sure we're not dealing with anything. I'm not super concerned yet, but I think I am going to start a vaccine for the next kidding group just in case. We certainly haven't hit any numbers where we'd qualify really to consider having an abortion storm or anything like that at this point, but I've had not aborted ones, but I've had enough like kind of weak or small kids in this group that I just want to be on the safe side, and my vet, agreed, was like, let's play it safe here. So that next breeding will actually get pushed back like 3 more weeks. I was gonna wean those kids from January today, but if their dams aren't getting bred, it's actually easier for me to just leave them in there. And if I wait 2 more weeks, most of those weanlings will be gone and I will have like more room to deal with this. I think that's my plan, is to just wait 2 weeks with that. We'll go ahead and vaccinate those does and go from there. Well, good morning. So these 3 were the first 3 born of this kidding, and they just follow me everywhere. You follow me everywhere. You're very pretty. You're very pretty. Hmm? Boop, boop. My husband's gonna be home shortly between jobs. He had to run into one for just a couple hours this morning, and he's gonna be back. I have to get one of those totes ready for the feed mill, and then the feed mill actually has an extra one laying around that somebody left there, and he's like, do you want that? I was like, perfect. So I need to order feed from him, and my husband's been taking the truck every day to work this week, so I haven't been able to drop it off. So he's gonna actually run those totes there for me. They went through that feed way quicker than I expected. I thought I was on track, and then all of a sudden that last little bit went really quick. So I think I need to adjust it a little bit. So I'm almost out, and I'm just gonna have to steal some from the weanlings the next couple days. Their rations are actually pretty close at this point, now that all of them are kidded and they're going to an early lactation ration. Their ration is actually pretty close to those older kids, so that's not going to be an issue. So I just got to get those totes ready. I did not forget to feed you. I will feed you, I promise. Okay, never mind. Those crates were on their side, but it must have had some rain blow in. I drained it out, but I'll have to let it sit and dry a little bit. I can't line it with those super sacks yet. So I just milked out this doe with the wonky udder. And this little dopey kid, not dopey, just, I don't know, dumb. I've been helping it nurse, and it finally is like bumping and gets on by itself. I still have to hold her udder up just a little bit, but she's finally getting it. I'm really hoping that like today's the last day I have to help this kid. Like, she's getting better every day, but I really can't stop helping her unless I actually see her nursing by herself, and right now she can't get on. I'm gonna check ketones on that doe with the prolapse. So far it is still going in every time she stands up. Oh, now she just made a liar of me. This time it did not. Hold on. This doe is actually a little bit crazy, and she's not been acting very crazy the last day, so that's worries me a little bit. Hey, can we put this back in? It did pop in really easily. Those membranes are getting a little bit inflamed, so we really got to keep an eye on that. Put your head up. Come on. Don't fight me. We want to be drama free. Come on. She's so short. Usually I kind of hold their neck back with my arm, but in case you're new here and you don't know what ketones are and pregnancy toxemia, so I'll give you a really short definition. Oh, she's 0.2, so she's perfect. Excellent. If they can't meet their energy requirements for their own life and growth of the fetuses, what happens is their liver creates ketone bodies. So basically it takes fatty acids and like chops them up so that their body can use them for energy. All of a sudden, it reaches a certain level and it just becomes super rapid, and their body is just eating fat off their body, and the doe just takes a nosedive. They feel like crap, they don't eat, which then of course exacerbates the problem, and their body cannot create enough energy from the ketones to sustain her life and the fetus's life. So typically you see this in really fat does who they have so much visceral fat that there's not enough room to put all their food. Or you can see it in really under-conditioned does where if they start to kind of go into a ketotic state, they just don't have any body fat for their body to pull from. They have no reserves. Or if it's just a bad feed ration, right? If for some reason, like the person feeding them just doesn't know what they're doing, they're not meeting their energy requirements. So because she's being fed a restrictive diet right now to keep her rumen less full, I'm feeding her a higher energy diet, so she's getting the energy she needs in less volume, and we're feeding her stuff that's going to move through her rumen quite quickly so that she's never like completely full. You know, goats like to go stuff themselves full and then go lay down and digest that for a while. We're kind of changing that for her. We're manipulating that so that she can't completely stuff herself because she doesn't have access to that much at one time. So we're trying to meet her energy needs in a lower volume of food. So I use a ketone meter to test for this. Now at the end of pregnancy, when they become ketotic and it reaches a certain level, then we call that pregnancy toxemia. It's just a layman's term for a late gestation ketosis. So I'm going to monitor this probably every 48 hours unless her behavior warrants more testing. But for now, she should be fine. Point 2 is excellent, so I have nothing to worry about there. All it takes is just one single drop of blood to test it, so it's a really quick and easy, convenient test. And I use this little test strip, and it goes into the meter, and it's very quick and simple. The test strips are, I don't know, kind of expensive. They're like $3.50 a piece it comes out to. I think I might start lubing up that prolapse just so those membranes don't get irritated and it slides in and out a little easier, just to assist that going back in when she does stand up. I'll probably make a lanolin base and then just water that down a little bit with like some olive oil or something. Oh, good girl, you ate all this. Okay, perfect. Your tummy's probably a little bit more full right now. So I've noticed that when she lays on her rumen side, her prolapse comes out a little bit more. She is really not a fan of these alfalfa pellets at all. She apparently isn't a fan of this hay either, even though all the other goats like it, which is fine. She's fine with just the concentrate and the pellets. So her prolapse is in right now. I've got the cream warming up in my shirt here. And I think I'm just gonna kind of shove a big blob of it in there. And then I think I'm just gonna kind of hold it in there for a minute so it melts all up. Problem is lanolin doesn't really stick to stuff when it's wet, so I'm not sure. You can't really smear it on something that's wet already, so it's kind of got to melt. All right. The spoon will be here either tomorrow or the day after. But I don't know, the vet said as long as that keeps going back in and we can keep those membranes from getting infected, she should be fine. So I think I'll start applying that cream like twice a day now. It's mainly just lanolin, and I thinned it out just a real little bit with some olive oil. I'll get you some more grain. Good job, Mom. Good job. Shrimpy. Hey, shrimps. What, let your babies nurse? Hey. Aw, are you a good mom, Shrimpy? You were a little confused that first day, but I think you got it now. I've been working on stretching this one's knees out, and she's made a lot of progress. They were really bent over, and she was really having a hard time like keeping her knees straight when she walked. So I just do a little bit of therapy 2 or 3 times a day, and they straighten out pretty quick by themselves. She looks way better than she did this morning. Usually it's that first joint above the hoof is knuckled over. I've never had one with the knees, but it seems to be doing a good job. You two are so tiny and so cute. Well, I guess now that those two have decided they have a will to live, I'll tag them. I skipped them when I was tagging because I didn't know if they were gonna make it. Okay, so I just weighed her. She's 4 days old and she's over 10 pounds. So she's gained 1 pound 4 ounces so far. which is really good considering like I was only tubing her for the first 48 hours. So she's made a lot of progress and she hasn't slid back at all. So I'm really happy with that. Okay. Where are you going? I'll put you back in a minute. Okay, let's go back. And this one has gained 2 full pounds. 2 pounds in 4 days. Good job, little girl. Okay. Okay. You're so pretty. Oh my goodness. Good morning. I am hoping for a really uneventful day. It is extremely windy again today. I mean, we've had sustained 40-mile-an-hour winds now yesterday and today, and I really don't want to leave these doors open. I think what I'm gonna do is open them this morning so they have access to their grain, and then open it again later on this afternoon. It's a very cold day today, and with all the wind, and I just worry about the doors ripping off. So it's just really hard on these kids. Cold temperatures are one thing, but a cold draft is another. I do need to get some more bedding in here. We had a bunch of freezing rain last night. So yesterday, the wind, when these doors were open, blew all the bedding to the other side of the pen. So it pretty much blew everything up to the front and then uncovered all the manure underneath, and this whole area is completely empty. That was all cornstalk bedding yesterday, and then a bunch of rain blew in last night. So I'm gonna have to rebed that and put probably a little bit more bedding in here. This was all blown away last night too, so I took a bunch of waste hay quick and filled it in, because I thought if this one kid's overnight, I know darn well she's gonna go lay in the dirt. So other than that, I'm hoping to have a really uneventful day. Can you do it? Do you want me to help you? So this kid has been nursing on her own, but I am gonna give her a little bit of help because that side is really full. You are the most patient mom ever. Huh? Are you patient? There you go. You got anything? You gotta try harder than that. There we go. Your sister finally figured it out. So I do have a few that I'm just supplementing to get off the ground. Shrimpy had these 2 really little ones. So I've got these 2 kids, and there is that one doe that I've talked about a couple times here where I'm really not sure if she has much milk at all, because even with a little supplementation, that kid's not gaining much. So I'm gonna keep giving it bottles, and at some point I may have to I don't want to say pull her because I'll just keep her on the dam because it's good for her mentally to have a mother, but she may become mostly a bottle kid at some point. We'll just keep monitoring her weight. Can you stop being a babe? Okay, your turn. I got you. It's okay, shrimps. I'm just supplementing. Remember this? Dahlia, hey, get out of there. Do you remember this from when you were a baby? Yeah, because Shrimpy was a bottle kid. Her mom rejected her. Her mom was a first-time doling, and I don't even want to say rejected. Her mom was really confused. Shrimpy was born at the same time as like 5 does were kidding, and most of them were all first-time dolings. One was a really hard pull, and while I was dealing with them, another doe had 3 kids and one ran away, and by the time I got back to give it back, she didn't think it was hers. And another doe had tried to steal it, and Shrimpy's mom was so confused and didn't understand like that it was her kid. So I actually, a lot of times if you you glove up and lube up, you can reinsert your hand back into their vagina and you kind of make a fist. Hey, that kid is not hurting your kid. And you kind of let them push it out like they're re-delivering, and then you slap a little fluid on that kid and put it in front of them, and they think they just gave birth to it. And that actually worked for a little while, and for a couple hours she was like, oh, this is my kid. And then later on she was just like super confused. Shrimpy, I think, would have been fine had she been more motivated to get in there. As soon as the doe would like bump her with her nose, Shrimpy would just, oh, okay, and she wouldn't try. And I think if she was a stronger kid, she would have gotten on that doe just fine. It was easier for me to pull her to make sure she was getting what she needed. Yes. All right, here's my other bottle kid. Come here, sweet pea. So this is the kid from that doe that I don't think is really making enough milk to sustain her life. And she's gotten really good at chugging, so stop! Why do you all beat up on other doe's kids? Hey, stop breathing. I know you don't like it when I feed her milk from other does. So right now, Sesame, that doe with the big udder, is pretty much feeding 5 kids, and I'm still banking like a quart a day in the freezer. Gosh. I'm still banking like a quart a day in the freezer, plus supplementing 3 kids, plus she's feeding her own too. It's a lot of milk. Are you good? This little one is so friendly. You're always coming to be my friend. Ryder, you can come out today. Oh. Come here, big girl. All right, this is your friend. Our little patient with the prolapse here, she's been extra uncomfortable since yesterday afternoon, and she hasn't eaten a whole lot. She's picking through the grain in her bucket, but even that isn't licked clean. And she's been very uncomfortable, but it appears that she has bagged up a lot. When she stands up, it looks like her stomach is dropped. You can't see that now. But I'm almost wondering if that breeding date was wrong. So sometimes they can exhibit some standing behavior when they're not in heat. I hope that breeding date is totally wrong and that she's actually going to kid really soon. So I saw her nibbling at her teats this morning, and a lot of times I see does do that like the day they're gonna kid. Given that she's bagged up, she's dropped, and she's nibbling on her teats, like I'm super hoping that I've got that breeding date just completely wrong, that I just saw her exhibiting some of that heat behavior, but she actually wasn't cycling, and that she was pregnant from the first round. Not for you. So it feels like her prolapse isn't pushed as far as it was yesterday. I'm just holding my finger in there to let this lanolin all like melt in there. Otherwise it's just gonna come right off of my finger, but then it can melt and kind of lube that up. She's not dilating at all. She's been vocalizing also, which is not normal behavior for her. She's normally a real quiet doe. It really helps to kind of know their personalities, and I'm still at a size where I know what's normal for certain does. She's not a vocalizer. We're really hoping that she kids sooner than later. That prolapse should not be an issue. She should be able to kid right through that.